Hey, what is going on, guys? People, YouTuber here, back with another video. And as I have promised, this is the winning deck list from YCS Indianapolis 2012, 6 Samurais. I'm actually really happy to see 6 Samurais win over windups, because windups, in comparison to 6 Samurais, don't actually have a lot of big plays. They have their Magician Shark play, which is their main play, of course, but what 6 Samurais have is more swarm potential, a draw engine, special summoning from the deck, searcher spells, and of course better sides, because they can side in Rivalry of Warlords and stuff like that, which will essentially shut any deck down that doesn't run the same types of monsters. So yeah, let's get into the deck list. So he has one Grandmaster, one Kageki, or 2 Kagekis rather, 3 Kizans, 3 Kagemushes, 1 Anishi, 1 Elder, 1 Zanji, and 1 Iro. 2 Maxis. Everyone seems to be main decking Maxi as of late. I can fully understand that. 1 Gateway of the 6, 3 6 Sam Uniteds, 3 Asceticisms, 2 Shien Smoke Signal, and 1 Reinforcement of the Army. I mean, if you look at it right there, he's got 9 spells that can draw cards for him, special summon monsters from the deck, and search stuff out from his deck. And he's got 1, of course, the Gateway, which basically does all of the above, except it's just better. And finally, he's got Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn, and MST. I'm surprised he doesn't main a Dark Hole over Heavy Storm, given the amount of back row that he has. Nevertheless, he might just want to clear off the opponent's back row to make big plays. Who knows? As for the traps, which is, 6 Sam's way of compensating for the amount of traps that are around in the meta nowadays in general, he has 2 Solemn Warnings and Solemn Judgment, the Solemn Brigade, 2 Musakani Magatamas. You can run this at 3, people seem to forget. It wasn't really touched by the ban list, so, I mean, the ban list of old. So why don't people run it? 2 Compulse, 2 Bottomless, 2 Deep Prison, and 1 Double-Edged Sword Technique. As if the deck couldn't swarm enough, this is just to help it out a little bit more. As for the side deck, he has 3 Rivalry of Warlords against any deck, including windups, that likes to run the same class of monsters. 3 Puppet Plants, 2 Dimensional Fissures against decks that rely on the graveyard quite heavily. You'll be seeing that in the future with Atlanteans, actually. But right now, it's just kind of stuff like Dark Worlds and things. 1 Come On against those decks that like to side in continuous stuff against him. They might side in Royal Decrees, which wouldn't really worry him too much, so he'd side in this guy. And of course the second MST. So 2 Cyber Dragons against Girgiz, and other machine stuff. I saw actually Machina Gadgets as well. Your man MCO 40 topped with Machina Gadgets, which is kind of cool. Which is weird considering that Ultimate Offering's gone down to 1, but in any case. 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors, obviously against Dark Worlds, perhaps even against Insectors, which I did see actually top. I think Billy Break used Insectors on top of them, so that's kind of cool. I mean, the deck I thought was dead, but obviously it's not, so. 1 MST and 1 Effect Fader. As for the extra deck, he has Chimera Tech, as I mentioned, Shien, Catastor, Naturia Beast, and Barkion, Mistworm, and Ally of Justice Decisive Armor, which I believe, if you remember, WCQ Central America actually won the guy that event. So, it's pretty good. Plus, he can go into it quite easily. It's 1 tuner and 2 or more non-tuners. So, I mean, he's got so many combinations of levels. I think it's a 4, a 3, and a 2. So, or whatever, 4, 3, and a 3. As for the rank 4s and the XYZs in general, he has Excalibur, Shadow of the 6 Samurai, Utopia, Blade Armor Ninja, Shockmaster, because he's just the latest trend and everyone's running Shockmaster, although in first turn in windups, it's pretty much game changing. You could go for your Magician Shark, Magician, and Swarm like you normally would, or, depending on the deck you're facing, you can go for Shockmaster and lock down your opponent. Windup Zen mains, Tempo, and Adrius. Tempo for all those pesky XYZs that you want to detach materials from. He's actually amazing. I don't know why more people don't run this guy. He's just so good. As for the deck itself, it is pretty standard build. And as I mentioned before, what gave 6 Samurais the edge, or what may have given them the edge, I have not actually read the transcript from the final, is the fact that they have so many they have so many more options than windups do. Windups, if you stop their Magician Shark play at the very beginning, they're basically normal summoning windup rabbits and windup rats and all these things, trying to get special summons into XYZs. But they basically have 1 play per turn, and their sharks are so crucial to them that if you're able to kind of bottomless one of them and wait for them to draw another one, then it's going to be really annoying for them. They're going to have to summon a wind-up rabbit in order to use its effect, in order to get the effect of Factory. And if you're siding in MSTs against them like this guy did, and you're destroying their factories, they're just going to get frustrated, Plus, they run all their heavy back row, and they're expecting to be able to destroy your stuff, and then when you run 2 copies of Musakani Magatama, you know, that's going to annoy them as well. You know, the 6 Samurais have draw power, they have special summoning power from the deck, they have search ability, and they have Gateway into 6, the most broken spell card in all of Yu-Gi-Oh, in my opinion. So, like, I can't really see why they didn't win, or why they wouldn't have won if they didn't. Just a surprise factor as well, a lot of people were saying, is that the deck, people seem to have forgotten about it, and forgotten about the fact that it was good. They also seem to have forgotten about the fact that a structure deck was released not too long ago that everyone took advantage of and built the deck with. So, 6 Samurais are still good, they're still out there. And imagine going into Barkion first turn. I mean, how screwed would windups be for that? I mean, they won't be able to attack over it. They'd be able to get a Magician Shark thing going, but more than likely there'd be back row set which would be able to stop that. So, just like, look at that back row. I mean, it's just like the back row that windups would run. So, as regards matchups, they're pretty evenly matched. And they both the finalists main deck Max Cs, so, you know, you can see why they were kind of prepared for one another, but 6 Samurais obviously just won out based on, you know, it has a good matchup against windups, because if you side in Rivalry of Warlords, their Magician Shark play is completely dead. I mean, that is what really screws over windups, the fact that they have all different attributes and, of course, all different types. So you can side in Gozen match depending on your deck and Rivalry of Warlords, and it'll completely, I mean completely screw them over. They will literally not be able to do anything. So, like, I can just imagine that, siding in 3 Rivalry of Warlords, and the deck just dies. In any case, guys, that is it for the video. The deck is pretty damn standard. Really, really happy that 6 Samurais won at a big event, and I fully expect to see them again. Some people are saying that, yeah, the surprise factor is gone, people are going to run 6 Samurais again. It's YCS, this format, so we're just going to leave it alone. No way, guys, no way. It's so freely available. Everyone's bought the structure deck, you know, 3 times at least. 3 copies of it, and so everyone can build a deck, so why don't people just do that? Try out 6 Samurais. They're really, really good. Just run a heavier trap lineup. I mean, if you compare this deck list to the YCS Central America, where's she just gonna take a look? Like, look at it here. I mean, it's just completely different. He runs the dojos, first of all. He only runs 5 traps, which means he wasn't worried about, like, any of the other, like, you know, just, he wasn't worried about people with heavy trap lineups, basically. And, of course, he runs 3 copies of Effect Vader, which was what worried everybody in the last format. Furthermore, his side deck is completely different. And his extra deck, too. I mean, it's more plentiful. He's got 2 shadows and things like that. So, I mean, look at how 6 Samurais have changed. And if you look at the monsters, you'll see very little, to be honest with you. But if you look at the spells and traps, you'll see just a more offensive, or rather defensive, heavy trap lineup. If anything, 6 Samurais could win a WCQ back then with that build, with only 5 traps in the deck. Imagine, like, now with the guy who runs 12 traps, only 15 monsters, but 12 traps and 13 spells. I mean, that just makes the deck so much better, and so much better defending itself. So, I mean, I very much look forward to seeing what 6 Samurais can do in the future, in the rest of this format. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave the video there. Short and sweet, as they say. Nevertheless, 6 Samurais win YCS Indianapolis 2012. Really, really happy about that. Let me know what you guys think of the deck. Do you think that it is worthy of its victory? Or do you think that, you know, it's just kind of a one-hit wonder and it'll just fade into the background? But I personally think that this heavy back row format we're in right now, it suits 6 Samurais perfectly. Fair enough that you can stop them more, but they can also stop you more. They have an excuse now to run multiple copies of Musakani Magatama. So, anyway guys, comment, rate, and subscribe as always. I will talk to you guys later. Plenty more videos coming up soon. I was looking at the new archetype from Cosmo Blazer, so I might be putting up a, you know, Dueling Network duel or a deck profile about them. Also, my beloved Atlanteans are being released in the middle of October, so I will be talking about them as well. As well as more Dueling Network duels in general. I haven't put up nearly enough. I only put up like 2 or 3 altogether. So I'm going to start putting them up on a weekly basis. So be sure to look out for those. Any other videos you guys want me to do and you want me to talk about, please let me know. I did promise you guys a competition, but I just wasn't able to think of anything to put up for the competition. I mean, anything that I was, you know, willing to part with. So what I might do is I might get a box of Return of the Duelist and put that up. So that's pretty cool. Anyway guys, I will talk to you guys later. Peace out. I'm a YouTuber. Catch you guys later.